What's up, buds? Welcome to WeeDnD, the live tabletop role-playing game show experience. Thank you for joining us on our digital version of the show, this prologue to Ganjaria, the world where magic finds its source in the mystical plant of the Feywild, GANJA. Thanks so much for all the support, all the outreach, all the messages, everything. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Big outs to everybody meeting over at the Facebook fan hub page. The WeeDnD hub is the group. You can catch us at Art Hard Studios on Twitter and Instagram and all the social media stuff. But seriously, thank you guys so much. Like, just the feedback we've gotten so far makes all of this just even better. So thanks. Hopefully we're bringing you guys a little bit of joy in kind of a weird and strange time. It certainly does my heart a lot of good to see these wonderful people every week and just seeing everybody in chat. And it's beyond my wildest expectations. Thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here. I'm just going to go ahead and say that we have had some technical issues. Thank you for bearing with them. Obviously, with the internet and people all across the country, and it's just a lot of things, and we're just doing the best we can with what we got. So,
yeah, sorry, my bad.
Isaac is very sorry. I honestly think Isaac's doing a great job. Thank you, Isaac.
You always say that when the cameras are rolling.
I do only say that when the camera's rolling, but I'm going to work on that. All right, guys, I think that's enough for me. How about we meet our sexy-licious cast? I'm going to pass this off to my girl. There you go, Brenna.
Thanks, man. Hi, guys. I'm Brenna Folger, but you know me as Bruno the Serpent. I've been having so much fun. This has been such a fun campaign so far, and I really appreciate all the feedback and the fan mail and little notes that everybody's been giving and the art. Oh my gosh, you guys, this has been so much fun. Me and my steed Brian are ready to kick some ass and take some names today, baby. I'm going to hand this one over to Drew.
Thank you, my dear. What's up, guys? Drew here. Also playing Thoricus, Onyx Heart, big, angry, dwarfy, just stewing, likes to get in fights, all that good stuff. But this is my squad. Represent. Thank you guys so much for all of your views and likes and followings and whatever all that other shit is. I'm old as hell, so I don't even know. But anyway, so glad to have you guys here. We love to have you. Thank you so much for joining us on our journey. And I believe I am passing this to Gus now.
Yo, what's up? My name is Gus Langley. Gang. But tonight, I'm going to be playing Divot, who is a human, but he thought he was a gnome, and then he went through a pivot, which is where you have one thought, and then you realize that you've been wrong your entire life. But I'm really excited about tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this off to Abby.
Cheers, bud. Oh, man, and thank all you buds for coming, man. The world's so scary right now, but I'm so happy to have all you buds here building this community with us. It's the best, and I'm happy to play Ten of Smooth Hands and rain my holy fire down on my enemies. I'm gonna pass this one off to Jake.
Oh, why, thank you, Abby. I appreciate it. What's up, beautiful internet motherfuckers? Jake Taylor here, ready to dive right back into the shoes of Rial Othravan, the elven arcane trickster. Kind of in a bit of a pickle where we last left him, so I'm happy to join these beautiful people, and you beautiful people, for some motherfucking D&D. Hand it over to our DM to get us started.
Ooh, yes, that's a good one. All right, guys, well, we've got a little ritual here at WeeDnD before we start a game. Maybe you know of it, maybe you don't. Why don't you grab yourself a lighter, put that bad boy up in the air. Lighters up, guys. Let's play some D&D.
WeeDnD, high fantasy, literally for you and me. So load up bowl and make a roll to take control. WeeDnD.
All right, guys, welcome back. What do you say we dive right in here? Let me set the mood. When last we left the Ferocious Five, they stood frozen within the temple of Erasdul, an ancient worshipping site to some forgotten old god of the Murk Wood. During the chase that preceded, Rial Othriven and Tina Smoothhands were able to save their friend Ubaro from the clutches of the shadowy echoes of Achias, the great druid. Meanwhile, Brunor, the sea serpent, and her noble steed, Brian the crocodile, managed to rescue an elf child who was nearly lost to the dark, mossy waters of the Murk Wood. However, they were left little time for celebration as they witnessed Martha Goutshire being dragged into the dark temple by the last of the echoes that had managed to escape capture by Divot and Thoricus Onyxheart. As they approached the temple, Rial felt the calling of his longtime mentor, Tormentor Ergon, the wizard of the Cloister of Trees, reaching out to his mind, beckoning him within. Pulled forward by a power within him, Rial led the five up the broken steps to the temple of Erasdul and confronted Ergon at long last, the twisted visage of Martha appearing amidst a maelstrom of magical energy as Ergon's blood ritual neared completion. Before you, hovering above the crackling dark portal amidst the scrawled necromantic blood runes on the floor, brought to life by the blood of Rial, you see Martha Goutshire, in her blue bodice now smeared with blood and dirt, clinging to the last of her life essence. Each of the glowing red orbs that surrounds the ritual drawing blood from her body as she manages to cry out to you, "Just go!" A tear streams down from her emerald-colored eyes as you see the pink fade from her cheeks. Her skin is pale, nearly translucent, and she's fading quickly. Behind her cackles Ergon from his wooden throne, wrapped in skin-tight silver and blue robe with accents of gold silk and runes emblazoned upon the wrist and neck. Below Martha, a bubbling black portal opens as demonic laughter echoes underneath. This is the price of your love, Rial. This is what you get for thinking you'd ever be rid of me. You see the portal swelling underneath Martha's feet as she dangles in the air. These bubbling black shadows popping and pussing out as they do. And from them reaching out, you see long, drawn, green, pale arms reaching out with long fingernails and long claws. Suddenly, these beasts begin to climb up from inside the maelstrom of magic. They stand 4 feet tall. They have squat, rounded bodies heavily contrasting their gaunt, emaciated limbs. Their skin is green and rubbery and sparsely covered by bristly hairs, as well as pulsing varicose veins. Their eyes slant downward and their noses flat and squished, and their exposed ears are pointed and lopped at the tips. Rows of small fangs lay inside their slobbery, slack mouths, and a pair of long claws hangs from their hand. They let out a great, harrowing cry as green gas pours from their mouth and plumes before them. Now, you guys are standing, trying to move, to fight out, to help Rial as he sits with his own rapier embedded in his stomach, his blood spilling down, activating the ritual on the ground. Unable to move at this new surge of magic from the whirling portal that grows by the moment. You see some black energy just spill out on the floor and then drag itself slowly back to the portal as the portal continues growing in size. You hear Ergon's laughter. He takes delight in watching you suffer, a fact that Rial you know only too well. Suddenly, as the chaos appears before you, Rial, in the back of your mind, you hear the familiar voice of your friend, Kindly the cat, the two-tailed cat with eyes like a swirling galaxy. It is wonderful to make your acquaintance again. Rial, call upon me whenever you wish. Allow me to now repay the kindness bestowed. Fear not for me. And as you guys are frozen in place, your eyes can still move, and you look down, and when you see a little bit of motion walk beyond you, and you see as this small, tiny cat with 2 fluffy tails sticking up in purple and pink and green eyes that swirl like galaxies, starts walking past you, seemingly unaffected by the magic. And in one last great heroic moment, it leaps forward into the blood ritual. As it makes contact, the energy that holds the ritual together starts beaming out in all directions. You see beams of black and red energy arcing across the room and cutting into the stone on the wall. You guys see as the portal starts to shape, so too does the magic that binds you. You look down, Thoricus. You can feel your fingertips starting to curl. You're gaining control of your body back. Rial, you make eye contact with Ergon. He looks at you. What do you say?
I'm not yours. I never was, and I never will be. And now I will do my best to repay 7 years of torture at your hands.
You see cackles. My magic was a gift, boy. You should thank the gods that I saw to bestow my power upon your weak person. You will never be rid of me, Rial. Forever shall I live as a shadow in your thoughts. And he touches the side of his head, and Rial, you feel his hand reaching into the back of your mind like you have so many times before, and you feel it tap on the back of your head. You're still held, but you're getting more control. Ergon stares at you. Through synthesis, I have finally achieved my greatest wish. An eternal life. A limitless stream of power to draw upon. The plane of chaos itself bends to our combined might, and you shall fall before us. It's time to end the charade, Rial. It is time to come home. Rial, you feel your hands wrap around the rapier and start pulling it from your stomach. You see blood and some of your entrails start pulling against the blade as it comes out. The little squirt of blood. Your blade bends in the air, and you feel it start turning on your allies behind you. Strike down these fools who would stand against the tide of destiny, and take your place at my side. Rial, you have the control. You have already turned away from him. What would you like to do? You have full control of your faculties once more.
Well, now that the rapier's thankfully out of my torso, I'm certainly not going to turn that on my friends. They've given me something that Ergon never has. And he has not seen my rogue skills yet, so I would like to show him what my bow can do.
Yeah, fuck this guy.
Show him. Get him,
All right,
Rial.
so go ahead and give me a bow strike. We'll give you this, and then we'll start a bit of an encounter. We'll do initiative and all that. So select your tokens.
Cool.
All right, so Rial, you reach back, and you see the energy in your hand fighting against the magic that he's planted in your mind. You see your hands start to shake, and you realize that you can't turn the blade away from your allies at this moment, but you have other abilities. You drop the sword. As it falls to the ground, quickly you grab the bow from your shoulder and sling it around. And in one motion, you slide an arrow all the way down the arc of your arm from your quiver. It lines up in your fingers, and you take the shot.
Yeah.
18 armor class. You see you shoot through the shadowy visage of Martha as she disappears. Your arrow shoots through, and then the shadows reform, and you see her still stuck in these 4 energy beams that are draining the blood out of her from these 4 orbs that hang in the room. You see the light of the candles burning behind Ergon, casting a shadow on his face as the arrow comes, and he didn't expect you to be able to break through his spell, and so this arrow catches him completely by surprise. It sticks to him. You see he doesn't even recoil. He looks down at it. You see his shoulder phase out of existence, and the arrow falls down. Now you know you hit him, so there was some damage, but it would appear that he is existing in between the real and the ethereal plane. Tina, if you want to give me a religion check, you may know what this is.
Do that.
Yeah. Just about to ask my girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
See if I can figure out what kind of going on here?
All right, so you're not entirely sure. You know, you rack your brain. Now you've been a wanderer on the roads. You know, your religion is almost survival. As a trickery cleric, you know, you play upon the realm of men. Unlike some of your counterparts, clerics that go off into dark places and do battle with undead, you don't have that same working knowledge of undead things. Surely Ergon is existing, you know, with your knowledge that this is some kind of necromantic ritual. Surely Ergon is existing in some place just beyond the realm of men. But unfortunately, that's all that you can tell. So let's go ahead and roll into initiative. Let me bring up the turn counter real quick.
Select my thing. Select my token.
I'm going to clear this real quick so don't roll yet.
Oh, okay.
Boom. There we go. So now we're clear. Go ahead and select your token and roll into initiative.
I cannot click my token.
There we go.
Can you not?
And that's a 12 for 10 of smooth hands.
Let me see. All right, Tina's got a 12. Everybody else go ahead and do yours. I'm checking Drew on your sheet right now.
Well, I can. Yeah.
It won't let me select my token either. Oh, okay.
Roll 20 is just shooketh from the narrative. My God.
Yeah, it's too juicy.
I'm actually going to go
Hail.
ahead and just take care of this then.
Thank you.
Here we go.
I mean, if
Is
we
that-
have some time.
You know what? Actually,
Yeah. If we're gonna pause.
Just roll an initiative. Go to your character sheet. No, you've got them here. I'm just going to take them by paper. So we've got Tina with a 12. We've got Rial with a 14. We've got Brenor with a 17.
Ooh.
Got one. Divot at a 16. And Thoricus at a 15. So it's going to go Tina, Rial, Divot, and then Brenor. And let's see what our man Ergon gets here.
Please be
Hate
sure.
that guy.
Ugh.
I swore he was spinning a coin when we walked in here.
Probably.
So,
Did I hear an accent? I think it was.
all right. So you see, you know, as this arrow shoots forward. Sorry, let me pull the dretches into play here. Martha sits basically at the center of that blood ritual, and the two dretches you see drooling from their sharpie teeth are just staring at you. Now, Tina, your religion check was good enough to know these are called dretches. They are actually the lowest on the tier of demons. So you have devils from hell and you have demons from the plane of elemental chaos. And so these are the lowest ranking members of the demonic hordes. But the fact that Ergon seems to be working with demons certainly strikes you as a terrifying, precedent. So Ergon actually comes through with that sweet crit on his, and you see, as the arrow falls to the ground from Rial, he looks down and looks at you, and he's got his little goatee, and when he smiles, he kind of reveals these blackened teeth that curl up with this devious laugh with his twisted mustache. Oh, you mortals, so foolish, so desperate to live out your one pathetic life. This is just the first of my many journeys around this rock. You see his body starts to fade out of existence, and he moves forward like a pale illusion of himself. It would appear, Tina, you know how immediately, that Ergon is a ghost. He moves out of his physical, smoky shape, comes off of the throne, and starts moving like this gray, withering cloud in the direction of Martha, trapped in the middle. And as he moves forward to you, all of you must make a DC 12 Wisdom saving throw. You see his face starts twisting in these horrible images, skull, skin peeling from bones, teeth being stretched back, jaws snapped, as this horrifying visage befalls you.
Wait. Oh.
Wait, I'm figuring it out.
Oh, buddy. Oh.
You said a 12, a D12.
DC 12. So just make a normal wisdom saving throw.
Right.
You're trying to
on your
get better,
character sheet.
then you're just trying to get better than a 12.
Rookies.
Give me a mo.
Oh, he's got me so bad.
Ooh, 10 come through heavy. 10 is like, I'm the wisest one here. What are you talking about?
Freaking Divot
What's
and
up?
Real.
Oh, buddy.
All right, guys. Kind of a big moment. Your first experience with a ghost.
No.
They have some pretty interesting features, and you're experiencing one of them right now.
I'm so
The ghost just shows you his horrifying visage. Suddenly, never seeing anything this close to the realm of undeath, your minds, those of you that failed, so anybody that got below below the 12, that was Divot, Real, and Nor. All of you feel all of your most terrible fears coming through your body. Brennar, you, a sea elf, used to being underwater, you start imagining yourself being buried alive in sand. As the sand creeps over your nostrils and mouth, you can feel you're not connected to the water at all, and you will be dried to death. Real, you feel you're back again. Ergon's twisted visage reminds you of those 7 long years that you spent trapped in that cellar beneath his laboratory. All those magical rackings of pain that he would put on you time and time again. Divot, you remember when your father told you to leave, and that fear that you felt, thinking you just lost the only member of your family that you'd ever had, the only thing that linked you to who you really were. All of these dreads build up in your bodies from the sight of this ghost. And the 3 of you that failed are frightened. So you will be, on your turn, you will make another saving throw at the end of your turn. So for one turn, you're going to be running away. But you are frightened, and you can make a saving throw on your next turn. It's for up to a minute. So you're pretty badly frightened. Now, that, however, is not the most interesting feature of the horrifying visage.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, it gets better.
Great.
Lovely.
It's great. Love it.
Guys.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
For everyone who failed,
Could we just make it worse somehow?
you are all aged by 1d4 times 10 years.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm glad I get to keep my youthful glow.
All right, so Real, Divot, and Brennar, as you turn away in fear, the energy from your life force sucked away from you and into Ergon's essence as he flies forward toward the group. As you turn and recoil in fear, each of your own independent fears driving you mad, you turn and you all catch a glimpse of your hands as they begin to age and wither. 20 years of experience fills the lines of your body. You feel your hair grow inches. Gray streaks start popping up in their slender threads. You have each aged 20 years, and you're running away, and your knees probably hurt a little bit more than they would in the situation normally.
It's gonna happen, guys.
Gnarly.
All right, so
Wow.
here we go. That's just the beginning of Ergon's turn. You see him approach. You see him approach. He flies right through the center point here where Martha stands, and he flies right past you, Real, completely unworried. You actually would get an attack of opportunity on him because he's going to fly straight through.
Thank God. Something, right?
Anything.
Can we
for
get
the love of God.
anything?
God, it's a really good thing Brian's not here. I'd be.
Oh, little old Brian.
Why do you give him ideas?
What? I didn't say that. That's
It's going
metagaming.
in between like dimensions right now. It's like he like snap his fingers and like boom, Brian's right there.
No, he doesn't know anything about Brian.
I
No.
couldn't do that
That's
to Brian,
metagaming.
guys.
Okay, good. All right, Brian is safe.
For now.
For now.
Don't do anything to him. He's a good boy.
No.
I'd cry. That's what I'm experiencing as a ghost. I'm
All right,
seeing
Rial,
my
go ahead.
fall apart
Actually,
Brian.
I'm sorry, Rial, you are using your bow, so you will not be able to take advantage of this attack of opportunity as Ergon flies over top of you.
Just
And
tripping.
you see him go directly up to Thoricus Onyxheart. Sweet wisdom saving throw was good enough to keep him from trouble. And Drew, you see he reaches into the whole of his essence begins flooding right directly into your mind. You see this giant ghost face with skeleton teeth, black and twisted, open, as he envelops your head. Make a DC 13 charisma saving throw.
Oh god.
Hate that charisma.
Nice. So Thoricus, you feel as this essence of Ergon, much like Rial's descriptions of his
out of my
effect
head.
on his mind, you see his hand reach into the back of your mind, and you feel your body start being taken over. Your hands start to move. Lucille starts bending almost like Rial's toward the party, and you're getting ready to swing. And then with a force of sheer will, you flex your muscles and puff your chest out, and you shred his ghostly body out of yours. You
Hell yeah.
manage to resist his possession.
That's the way it's done.
I was just gonna kill all you guys. You guys know the only thing I do is kill, so if he got control of me, you would all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really.
He would
really
be a
cool.
spinning murder top.
All right, so
Cradle of
here we
destruction.
go. Behind him again. They roll pretty sweet for their advantage. You see these two demonic dretches, kind of skin hanging down, long, gross, hanging nipples, and like big tummies that kind of hang down toward the
Like
ground.
Mila Jovovich.
Walk on these big clawed fingertips. Each
No
one
body
of them
shaming, guys.
Yeah, no body shaming.
shaming here, guys.
Thick boy.
Even dretches. Somebody will love this dretch in the
Yeah.
plane of elemental chaos.
Every dretch body is a summer body.
That's right. We're dad bod positive here. If you haven't told already. All right. So the dretches, Rial, both approach you. You see their slobbering rows of teeth as they come down, and each of them is going to attempt to bite you.
Rude.
Don't let him.
All right, so a critical miss on the first one. So you see one is just like, and it's like he's new to being in this plane. So you can see his body kind of isn't used to the gravity and the way that this material plane works, the prime material plane. And you see him, kind of limping his big fat body toward you, and he comes down. You see the rows of teeth open up. There's already some blood and blackness in them. They latch down. And they completely missed you. He's still like a foot away. It's like when you try to get into a fight when you're drunk. He's just like, kind of one of those.
Never do that.
Sucks to suck.
And completely misses. You see the other dretch, similarly having trouble functioning in this plane, tries to bite at you, and you quickly knock it away with your bow. Just kind of tap him on his flat nose, with a little crack of the ashenwood bow that you use. And then. Unfortunately, had quite a few attacks. You see each of them kind of lock eyes and look at you again, and they come from either side. And try to bring the pain on you with a claw attack.
Yikes.
12 AC, 15 AC. Does a 15 hit?
Let me see. I don't think so, but I'm 14.
All right, yeah. So you see, one of them does manage to miss, as it comes through and tries to clap you, you kind of duck down. But when in doing so, you duck directly claw of the other one. They pincered attacked you on purpose. Boom, he manages to catch you with his big, long, gaunt fingers that have these big, long hooked claws at the end. And he scratches across to the side of you. Some blood comes out. Your shirt is torn a little bit, and there's a little, trail of blood from these 3 nail gashes in your side. You take 5 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
And that is the end of their turn. Brennor, what do you do?
Well, am I running for my life?
Oh, yes, you are scared.
Why do you remind him
have
of
to
these things? You
run.
could have got away with it.
Well, could you imagine people watching it if we were just got away with it?
Like, Brandon, come on.
My bloods,
All right,
my bloods are important to me.
I love your
wanna-
attack.
I have honor, man.
No,
Yep.
all good players.
You're a
will
better
regret
man than
their
me.
DMs if they're forgetting things. So thank you guys for being excellent players.
And we're all stoked.
So Brenor, yes, you are. Oh, you're terrified, not only at this idea of yourself being buried alive, but at your own aging skin in front of you. You know, as sea elves get older, their blue skin, starts to lose its sheen a little bit, and you're watching as your blue skin starts to fade to kind of a dull blue.
Fuck.
And it's like, not somebody who spends a ton of time on her appearance. It's still such a shock to see 20 years of change happen in a moment as you, full of terror, turn around and begin to run away. So that's going to be your turn right now. What is the end? At the end of it, you get to make another saving throw. So go ahead and make another wisdom, DC 12 wisdom saving throw.
Get my wisdom on, please. Something.
Come on.
Be smart, Brenner.
13, good enough.
Good enough. The
You
true
turn
Yonamori
around.
story.
The true story. All right, so you turn around and you start running away, but you're so driven from Ergon that you run directly in the opposite direction of him and right into a wall.
Yeah.
You slap into it. You feel your head knock on the wall a little bit, leaving a little bit of dust and sweat on the wall. And suddenly you feel that fear drain away from your mind. Your friends are in danger and they need you. But unfortunately, your turn is over.
Son of a bitch.
Am I still
Divot.
old?
You are still old.
Oh no.
I'm gonna say, am I still full of wisdom and experience?
There we go.
Experience, but getting no bonus to wisdom and no actual experience.
You just
Yeah,
getting
sure.
old.
You just getting old, man. It's cool. It happens to
It's
everybody.
fine. Yeah.
All right, so Brenner, your turn is done. Divot, you having suffered a similar fate, are terrified. So you correct? Am I correct, Divot? You were terrified.
Yeah.
I terrified is going a little bit extra. Can we not?
Some
No,
people.
I mean,
might
I
be
went
immune,
from
might be- I don't know.
young DiCaprio to now DiCaprio. I'm terrified.
Like Titanic.
That is terrifying.
All right, so Divot, you get the same treatment. You turn around and you see Ergon, as his essence wraps around Thoricus. You see for a brief moment Thoricus losing the struggle as his body starts to move. And if anybody can do that to Thoricus, it's a terrifying proposition. You begin to run away. You turn, again, slapping right into the wall. Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw. This is at the end of your turn as well.
How very Three Stooges of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did that go?
It has not popped up yet.
Sometimes it takes a second, and that's okay.
There we go.
There we
Yeah,
go.
Gus is the farthest away from all of us right now, so that's great.
Yeah.
Divot,
kill.
the first one did the trick, 14. So you see, kind of hilariously, as Brenner turns around and, in epic fashion, runs directly into the wall. Divot, you turn around and just like, scary face. You guys, boom, slam faces with each other.
Wow.
And you're looking at each other and you're like, oh, you're fine.
Wow.
But you're both looking at a 20-year-old version of each other. All right, so both have managed to break out.
Terrifying.
That horrifying visage has certainly run its way through the party so far. Thoricus, standing directly in front of you is the essence of Ergon, the mad wizard that tortured your friend for 7 years and now had the audacity to try to swing Lucille. What do you do to him?
And he's teaming up with Synthesis?
And teaming up with.
Come on. I can't hit him though. He's like ethereal, right?
So you did see the arrow struck him. Okay, so he is damaged by weapons.
There's
it just
something-
doesn't seem to have full effect.
Right.
Narrative way to say.
Papa's got to roll good, is what you're trying to tell me. And
Papa's
he ain't so good at that.
Papa,
Come on, Daddy.
Come on,
Somebody's
Papa.
got to get these crits. I got them all last week.
You see, guys, I'm kind of more interested in trying to go and break those orbs or something.
Yes.
That was
Yeah.
my first
Right.
thought.
Right? But he's right in my way.
Team Ballbusters.
True. And you do know, again, being a battle master with your exquisite prowess, you're kind of gauging, how can I get around this guy? And you're not seeing a way that you could do it where he wouldn't get to take a swing on you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if he misses, Yeah.
What if he doesn't?
But you also need to get to them.
32 hit points. But what?
You also need to get to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, these short little dwarf legs ain't gonna get me there in one turn.
Yeah, Thoricus, you little.
I feel like
So,
What
can
if-
I get to the backside of him and attack without leaving his threat range?
Yes.
And
so,
then
you
I'll
know,
just be on the other side, and then I'll be closer to the red orbs for my next turn.
correct. So you do know, hey, I could outposition him and gain some advantage here. So you're familiar with an old battle position move where you and your ally would kind of roll over each
Classic
other and
pit.
shift into battle. Yeah. And so you're thinking, well, if I did it and you stayed close enough to him where he couldn't get a swing on you, you'd be able to avoid his opportunity attack. By staying in his threat counterintuitively, you're actually safer with your movements. So you rush into him and kind of do a small roll to the side, planting your fingers on the stone.
Oh.
Lucille slides down. Boom. You have advantage.
What?
Love it.
Oh.
What's about to happen?
Let's take a swing. Come
Here
on,
comes.
Lucille. Be thirsty. Be thirsty.
Come on.
You roll down to the side, almost like the arrow that Rial shot. Lucille just instinctively slides to the end of your motion. Your hands, very strong dwarf hands, grip the axe. You grab it, swing it around in the air. Let me just double check if you got a 1 or a 2 there. You didn't. You bring it around. 12 is actually good enough.
Good enough!
Boom,
I'll take it.
You bring the baseball swing and crack him for 11 points of damage. Again, you feel contact, but just at the last moment where in a mortal body, you would feel it kind of sink into the thick meat. Your blade suddenly goes through. You feel like about half of your damage didn't go through.
Ah.
So he's half here and half somewhere else.
Half of your damage, Drew.
Ah.
The signal. So yes, he seems to be he seems to have some resistance to physical non-magical weapons.
Okay.
All right, so Thoricus, is that the end of your turn, or do you want to do anything else?
Is there anything that I can do to snap Rial out of his trance,
sorry,
or is he already out of it?
Yeah, he is actually in full control of his faculties.
Oh,
He does have
okay.
the 2 dretches on him. And again, kind of spinning here in the background, you do have that black portal that's growing with the red beams shooting in from each of these 4 orbs toward the portal in the middle. That's just getting a little bit bigger as time goes by.
Gosh. Well, I guess that'll be the end of my turn then.
All right, Rial. You're standing there. You've got the dretches on either side, looking down at these demonic creatures. You've never really seen anything quite like this before. Even in the books that you would read in the Cloister of Trees, the few that you could sneak away and manage to hide under your bed, before Ergon would come through and take everything that he knew you cared about. You would read of great magical beasts, but nothing quite like this. Their skin hangs, and they're very clearly not from this plane of existence. They're almost pure chaos. You see their teeth, one of the one that clawed you is almost licking at the blood on the tips of his nails as he scratched you, and you see him look up, and the big rows of teeth, come out. And yeah, so what do? You're standing there, you've got your bow in your hand right now. Firing at somebody right in front of you with a bow would give you disadvantage, because
Just
they're
punch
right
that motherfucker in the teeth.
but you are also quick enough with your dexterity that you could go down and get your rapier if you wanted to use that. Or you could, remember you have your rogue cunning action, you could use that to disengage and move away without getting attack of opportunities. That's one of the other uses of that cunning ability.
Well, my question is, can I do anything? I'm not terrified, but I'm proper frightened, that's for certain.
Oh, that's right. You ended up okay, so
Yeah. Do I get to run into a wall too, or?
all right, here we go. I am actually
Can I run into everybody?
This is Rial. Give me so at the end of your turn. So yeah, again, all this terrifying stuff that befell you. I apologize for slipping on that. That horror that you felt is only intensified. The source of your fear is Ergon, so you will run directly away from him. Now that actually puts you very close to that dark portal, but not in it. So you will move your move away. This Dretch will get an attack of opportunity on you as you run through his threat range, and then you'll end up landing right about here.
Okay.
So give me another wisdom saving throw to see if you break through this frighten. Again, Rial, you've watched as your own hands have withered with time as well. A high elf, 20 years, not quite so much of a transition for you. Your people live several centuries, and so as far as 20 years is concerned in the life of Rial Othravan, it is but a moment.
You're still sexy, boy.
You're still looking good. Still looking
We're all
good.
sexy.
Right.
We're just old
I love
things.
my sticky friends.
Boom, double,
Ooh.
not crits, but double 20s, which is always good to see. It's that 20/20 vision. So with your 20/20 vision, as you turn away, again, almost that thought in your mind of like 20 years, you almost laugh at the pomposity of it. That's just like that's nothing. And the moment of clarity and joking with yourself in your own mind helps break the mental crutch that Ergon has placed. You are becoming more and more proficient at pushing that voice of his out of the back of your mind. And this battle is only increasing that. So you, through force of will, manage to cast off this terrifying visage of his, and you turn back around. To your left, Martha is nearly invisible. The blood has been so drained from her that it's only small pockets of blood in the energy every few moments rather than the steady stream that once began. You see her green eyes are starting to turn a crystal blue, cold and soft. You can smell the porridge coming from her apron that she prepared for all the refugees after the great battle. The head of the Leaping Leopard Inn, the biggest fan of Divot, the Lightning Dodger, is being destroyed before your very eyes. Tina, what do you do?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm face to face with Ergon at the moment. Yes.
Yeah, he exists in this three-dimensional kind of space because he's got faces and skeletons that float on all sides. In one visage, it's his face as a mortal man with the goatee and the dark teeth, and then a skeletal head with a burning crown of fire, and then again another skeletal head. You hear the snapping bones of the jaws breaking open. He's just this horrifying sight to behold, and he phases in and out of being in your tangible reality and to the other plane that the magicians know as the ethereal plane.
Well, it's time to try some magic on this guy.
Yeah, go divine.
Let's
Hell yeah.
Use that holy shit.
let's
Hey, I'm saying,
unleash.
Shit. I always light up when Tina's she does.
Yeah. It's gonna get it's gonna get fiery up in here. I want to unleash my spiritual weapon, and I want it to be in the shape of a kitty cat. Because I'm inspired.
Okay. Do you want it to have two tails?
Two tails. Yeah.
Two tails.
And I
All
want
right.
the tails to wrap around his throat and choke him and
Ooh,
burn
nice.
his neck.
Like summoning a spiritual Pokemon, you call forth this holy light. You take your ball cap and you twist it backwards first, and then you reach into your bag and you throw a little ball out. You see this little light cat, it resembling exactly the cat, a very large a cat with galaxy eyes and two tails. You see quickly, it leaps up in the air, spinning as it does. The two tails wrap around him. Go ahead and hit me with a spell. Let's see if
I've pressed it.
I did not get it on my end.
It took
it might be a
some
second.
time.
Use the break.
I'm pressing it, but it's not going.
Happening. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to back end it here. I'm gonna climb into your character sheet with my devious dungeon master prowess, and let me dive in here and get you, Tina. And you're trying to do what again? You're trying to spiritual weapon.
Spiritual weapon. Or we could just do Sacred Flame if it's not letting me do it.
No, here, let's see here. Cast at what level? Are you casting it as a second level spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey!
So if you click it on your spell page, Tina, it'll ask you what level you want to cast it at, and then you have to finish that prompt, and then it'll roll.
Okay, cool beans.
And then, unfortunately, you're. You have advantage because you're flanking. So
Right.
you do
You're
again
well
because
covered.
of Thoricus's battle prowess setting you up with your tactical
Thanks,
advantage.
man.
you see the little lightning cat leaps up in the air. You see it kind of wrap around the ethereal form for a moment, striking and holding, and then if he phases in and out of the ethereal plane, it goes. But your searing energy seems to have affected him fully, and he takes a full 8 points.
Full on hit, man. Yes.
That's dope.
The holy energy of Tina Smoothhands.
All right.
And so that is your action. Did you want to move or use a bonus action, or is your turn over?
That will do it for my turn.
All right, so let's see. Here we go. I'm rolling it so you guys can see it. On a 6, the ghost will be able to recharge that ability. He does not get it back. So congratulations.
God.
Now he's
Pour some sugar on me.
a bad thing. So, perceiving both of you as a threat, you see as the heads shift and phase in and out of reality in front of you in this ghosty, pale blue, smoky, form. It seems he attacks both of you at once. So let me...
Bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. He only
So
has...
I hated this guy. Right now?
All right, so 12 AC on you, Thoricus. Correct? You see this withering ghost hand stick out of the magic, and these old, decrepit fingers, seemingly aging by a millennia in front of you, starting out as a skin-covered hand and ending as a bony hand that reaches out to you. You just
Can I just
take
be
that
like,
Yup. And so you dart it away. He turns to you, Tina, and attempts again to try the same thing. A ghost hand comes out of the darkness. 16 AC.
18 for me.
Boom. Again, your holy animal, after it latched onto his neck and dropped, it's still there. Like you still have it, and with a bonus action, you can have it attack every round. So it's still there. You see it darts in front of him and scatters the magical energy that's coming off of him and makes him rephase a little bit. And he manages to, you see the claw misses you. So your little spiritual weapon ally has helped you avert the blow.
Thank you.
The dretches go. They actually, Ergon can turn, so at will, he can just turn into a ghost. He turns into just ethereal energy. He leaves the primaterial plane and moves away as on the ethereal plane, which overlaps the material plane. And so he turns into a ghost, passing seemingly right through you, Thoricus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Landing in between these two orbs on the far side. You see the orbs that were once draining blood from Martha. Suddenly, the beams stop.
They start filling him, don't they?
You see a surge of blood energy spills into Ergon as he regains his physical form. You see that some of the essence that you've been battling away in battle is removed, and he manages to heal himself. You see him gain his real form. He sees Rial standing 10 feet in front of him. Boy, you are no match for me. The dretches go. You see one Rial just really wants to get a taste on you, and he comes up for his bite and claw. He comes down with a chomp, hitting a 7 AC. That's a miss. He misses, but then he
Let him
comes
taste
back.
that penis.
With his claws, comes back and again lands true, slashing you one more time. This time across the chest, ripping one of your little button ties off your shirt. It pops off, a little bit more blood spilling. Some from your arm, some from your chest, staining the fibers on your shirt, man. You take 6 more points of slashing damage. The other dretch turns to seeing Thoricus as the intimidating one on the field. He rushes up to him and, closing the distance like a fool, attempts to bite and claw at him as well. So on the bite, he gets a 15 AC, and on the claw, a 12. Do either of those hit?
Not one.
All right.
Oh no,
So
now
Thoricus,
you're mad.
proving him wise in his assumption, You brace for impact as he charges up at you, his rows of teeth kind of slobbering and dropping some saliva that's like black and red out of their mouth. He reaches up, you deflect it with Lucille. You see him come back as he tries to bite you, and you just give him a little whap to the chin. He like dips back and was unsuccessful in his attack of you. You see the other two orbs that...
Do I get a parry maneuver since he missed?
Ooh, yes, you do. So,
Hey.
Battle Master.
Excuse me. Oh.
What is that? That's the riposte, right? That's the riposte. Where he misses and you can hit him. Repost? You tell me.
Wait,
What
yeah.
is it, Isaac?
It's riposte.
It's a
You're
riposte,
right.
Drew. Real time riposte. And now, I think we've all learned something today.
Yeah.
We really did.
So go ahead and so what you're gonna do, Drew? You use one of your battle. Oh yeah, you use one of your battle superiority dice, and taking advantage of the stun. You know, when you gave him the little quick jab with the butt of Lucille, and he tips, and his head tips back. You're like, man, it doesn't get any easier than this. You got a wide open, big, fat, scaly gut in front of you. With your 11 points of damage, you tell me. No, he still has more hit points. I was wrong. I was wrong. Sorry, Drew. But tell me what you do. You hit him really good, and he will be bloodied. So tell me.
All right, cool. So yeah, I guess after I come up with the butt of it and his face just up like, what the fuck just happened to me? Then I'll be like, I'll take a jump back and bring Lucille back up and just crack him right down the center. Cut that flat nose off.
Ooh, you bring down the heft of Lucille. You know, you and her move like dancers on the dance floor. You go with absolutely no lost motion as you jump into the air to avoid the strike. You bring it down. You feel some of his ribs, or you would assume they're ribs. You're not really a demon doctor. But the bones that are there where our ribs would be. Let's not go too far into this. You feel the bones in his chest start splitting and cracking as Lucille finds her way directly down the middle of him. That same black and red blood kind of oozing out of their essence. A lot of damage. He is very much bloodied, but he is still alive. But a nice another swing by Thoricus. You guys, finally the last two orbs that are focused on Martha. You see the blood stops. And the orbs send two red beams of one at you, Rial, and one at you, Thoricus. 16 AC, Rial. Critical miss on you.
No.
Boom. So he, if 16 hits or no?
I have 14.
Okay, so this beam of blood energy shoots and marks you, shooting you for 1 point of necrotic damage. You feel a little festering singe. You look and there's still a little bit of Martha's blood where the wound struck.
Ugh.
All right, so that is the end. So Brenor, you're up. Welcome back.
Hell yeah! Okay, so I want to take out my shield because this is gonna get real silly. And I want to enter the ding dang room. I gotta be closer to Ergon to mark him, right?
Yeah, I think you have to be within 30 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could get to right there, and you would be able to mark him.
Yeah, let me run to right Schmear.
Okay.
And I wanna mark him. I wanna just point at him and be like, yeah.
So you see, he looks, he snaps up at you, keenly aware of everything that's going on. A master tactician, almost as if he planned the move before you made it. He looks at you and smiles.
And I go, you made me old. And I want to attack that orb that's in between us.
All right. So what do you want to attack it with? You want to throw an axe at it, or you're still probably about 10 feet away from it?
Yeah, I'm going to throw a hand axe at it. I'm just going to be like, you made me old. And then real quick be like, wah!
Nice. Go ahead and throw it.
I will.
6 AC, not enough. You you're not used to this new age in your body, and where normally you would just reach back and with grace throw and land right on target. Yeah, as you start to move back, you're like, oh my back, oh my goodness, and you just kind of like limp arm, like, oh god, throw it, and it just kind of tink 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 pitters out on the ground in front of it, and you're like, oh dude, this sucks. This getting old is not great.
This is this is gnarly, and it's not tubular.
Spiritually, it's very fulfilling. But physically, for throwing axes, it makes things much more difficult. So, unfortunately, you throw the hand axe and you were not able to hit. Now, you still have a bonus action if you have anything you want to use. If not, then it will be Divet's turn. Divet!
Yeah, I don't have any. I really don't have like anything else that would be fantastic for that. So I'm already marked him, so he's morked.
Right. Morked. Go ahead and cast your mark too, just so that like we can show.
Oh yeah, of course.
Divot, you're gonna be up.
So, yeah, I'm like, you're marked in the funky bunch, and then
Wow.
I look back at Divot, like, right? Yeah.
I don't know this funky bunch.
I see you.
All right, so Divot, you're up.
Okay. I am not as scared as I was, but this is still like top tier scary stuff for me.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna
like this kind of stuff.
I'm gonna run forward just enough. Like, I don't want to get too close to this demon that's engaged with Thoricus, but I do want to move close enough into the room so that I have a line of sight towards Ghost Man.
Boom, you can get right here. So you slide along the wall, there's the pillar to your left as you move forward. You kind of take position behind Brenor a little bit.
Yeah, I'm up for tech.
Yeah. And then then I want to cast Shatter on the ghost guy, and I think he's close enough to the orbs that it'll hit them too.
You are absolutely right, my friend.
Yes.
So go ahead and give me a Shatter. You guys have seen Divot use this maneuver before in the Gilded Ribbon Inn when he
Big money, no women.
beneath them. DC 14 Constitution save. Now, because those orbs are a material, they will break. So
They're living in the material world.
Yeah, they're a material world, So let me. I do apologize.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's your thing tonight. Ergon makes a Constitution saving. And he fails, so he will take full damage as well.
Whoa! Divot!
So Divot, go ahead and explain what you do, because you're gonna blow out these two crystals at least.
Okay.
The ghost is still there, but he will be damaged fully.
So I run into the room, and I see the ghost of Martha, and she's wearing this like beautiful pearl necklace that I had never noticed before.
Aww.
And
listening.
And I look over at him, and he was like looking at me, and I'm just like, ah!
As the magic of your voice, your cry, almost a primal scream. Ah! You scream and let it out. The sound waves you see manifest in physical, tangible reality before you. You see these two orbs, either one of them both blow away. As the blood spills out from them. And like a bursting balloon scatters on the floor. And
I didn't know that you could do that.
And Ergon, that was interesting. And Ergon takes a significant. You see the sound waves, cut through his ethereal body, and you can see it fully affects him. The damage was completely true, and he failed his saving throw, so he took the brunt of that entire damage. You see the pit. So they start shifting a little bit, and you see stones at the top of the roof start falling from out of place. You've also unintentionally rattled the foundation of this temple, and the roof is starting to fall in.
Yikes.
God.
Let's get out of here.
So far, it's nothing that it's not causing anything, but it is something to keep an eye on.
All right,
so,
let's
did you want to?
keep an eye on
that was your move and your action. Did you want to do a bonus action, or is it Thoricus's turn?
Oh man. No, I think I'll hold off for now.
Awesome. All right, so you kind of, in true Divot style, come out, do something super, super epic, and then kind of cower just behind Brenor so that if anything happens, like, it'll probably hit Brenor before it hits you,
I got you.
Yeah. Just, like,
I've got you, bro.
pats you. Okay, so Divot, you're done. Thoricus, you're standing in front of this splayed beast that tried to assault you. What do you wish to do next?
What a fool. I'm going to run over to this other orb over here, and attack it like a boss. Hopefully. Now I'm talking shit, so I'm probably going to roll like a fucking asshole.
You gonna dice pack it up?
God, I hope so. Let's find out. Come on, Lucille.
Boom! Yeah, it does. And 8 damage is enough to break it. Drew, what do you do to this orb?
Is there a wall over there?
There is a pillar. That's what that square thing is.
Okay, cool. So can I run up to it and just punch it back into the pillar, and it comes back, and as it's coming back, I'm just getting Lucille ready, and I just Babe Ruth it, just.
Dude, heck yes you can. So you roll up, and you just to kind of give it a little flavor, you bring back the axe, and then rather than swinging with the heft of Lucille, you drive it forward almost like a backwards pool cue. Boom! You jab it. The orb bounces off the pillar. Ting! You can tell it's some kind of crystal or glass. It starts coming back for you, illuminating. You see the blood building up within it, about to siphon and shoot towards you. And ready for it, setting it up the whole time. Whoo! Bring up Lucille, and in true fashion, proceed to arc of blood splatter across a 30-foot section of the far wall. You see just a river of blood following the arc trajectory of your axe spills against the wall. There is only one orb remaining. You see that out of the corner of your left eye, you look over at Martha, and the shadow that seems to be consuming her is nearly got the entire part of her. It's getting up to her neck and face, and she is nearly completely consumed in shadow.
Okay.
Rial.
I was gonna say I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
And go after the other orb.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Work this.
Action surge.
So you actually, let's see. You can throw something at it. Because you won't have an extra move. You just get an action. So you'd have to throw like a ranged thing at it.
Okay. I'll do whatever I can.
You moved from in front of the dretch, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And so,
Oh, wait, shouldn't it have got an attack of opportunity?
An AOO. Yeah, no, but let's
pretend I didn't say that. See, the integrity is kind of not so good sometimes.
He does. He's going to hit at you with his claw because that's the only thing he's been hitting with all night. And you see he brings down... No, with a double 1. He rolled 2 1s. See, that's why I didn't even bother to roll. I knew that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so boom, rolling the 2 1s. You see he misses you.
Do you even want me to roll for my riposte? Or should I just destroy... Can you just say that I destroyed him?
I'm going to need you to roll.
Damn it. All right.
You got to earn it around these parts.
I guess
especially if you're going to bring it up.
I mean, that'll work, right? Will
that did it. That did it. And with the amount of hit points he has left, boom, your 8 is better than his 7. Tell me what you do to this guy, Drew.
Oh, there we go.
So this is before I go up and punch the orb, right?
Correct.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we've rewound a little bit.
Rewound. Yeah. So yeah, as he tries to swing at me with his claw, you said, I'll just grab his hand, bring Lucille up, cut the arm off, and just stick it right back in his eyes.
Nice.
Just feel like
his own body.
Just go, die, please.
Just turning him against himself yet again. You drive it through, and you see that black and red blood. Spilled exactly. You with sheer dedication in your eyes, almost just deflect him with a glance, and make him kill himself, and then you run, boom, hit the crystal, baseball shatter it away. Now, with your action surge, would you like to make a ranged attack at the orb?
Yes.
Might as well. You're killing it right now.
Yeah.
You make those turns count, boy.
Well, I'm trying. This is not Lucille. So
Rolling a natural 1.
oh,
Thoricus, just so jacked up on chaos and mayhem, you're running and you're, Lucille,
I do have great
you
weapon
just
fighting.
look so good in the moment. Yeah, that's just for damage though.
Damn it!
And so you reach down, your hand axe is so much lighter than Lucille. You don't have the same finesse with it. And you try a sweet, like, underhanded axe throw at the other orb. It tinkles on the ground and doesn't find its way. It's tinkling, I'm sorry. It's not Lucille. Lucille probably would have done it.
Not the same.
Not the same, man. Not the same. All right, Rial, what do you do?
Well, I've clearly seen my friends stepping up to the fucking plate, and clearly we need to go after the orbs. Oh, out of the pot. So I'm gonna go ahead, my bow's at the ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a pot shot at the last orb with my short bow.
Get it.
Nice.
Boop, boop.
It's good enough. What do you do to
We'll
it?
take it.
Tell me the story, bro.
I'll take good enough, absolutely. Given the way that the time frame's gone, I just saw Thoricus's home run, but
Correct.
before the blood can even splatter the wall, bows up, arrows out.
You see it's almost as if you both strike in unison. As your arrow blasts into the crystal, so too does the blood of the crystal crescendo up the wall behind him, and the two bloods join together in a ceremony of rain. Splatters down. You see the far pillar, even the throne itself, now soaked in blood, just like the body of the man that lays on the floor. You look over at Martha, her face still sticking out from the shadow. The body begins to fade away. You see where the shadow had covered disappears as the shadow bleeds away. Just a floating head of Martha remains. You see Ergon look. I told you. I told you the price. Now pay it! And that's where we'll pick up after our break, guys.
Dude!
Oh, we at WeeDnD are going to take us a little short rest. And just Isaac's trying to tell me to do something, and let me tell you, his sign language is atrocious. We are gonna, now he's
Like
flipping
this?
me off too, so it's the joke just keeps rolling. Anyway, we're gonna take a quick intermission. Definitely check out the slideshow. There's some special thanks. There's some of the artwork, some of the fan submissions and stuff. If you guys want your art on the show, submit it at the Facebook WeeDnD Hub community page. It's a lot of fun. A lot of great people are going there, and it's just gonna be this awesome party. And who couldn't use an extra party right now? So we will see you guys right after intermission as we conclude this chapter of the saga. See you then. Welcome back to WeeDnD, where our high elves are way higher than your high elves. We're gonna jump right back into the action here. When we left off, the floating head of Martha Goutshire hovers before you. Ergon calls out, "Let us be done with this!" Tina, you stand watching everything that's befallen you. It's your turn. What do you do?
Oh my goodness. So, what are my options here? What's in front of me?
So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, I made you big. 5.
Ooh, she
You're
did.
so tall.
Oh,
It
big.
is.
So
You can reach
tall.
about here if you move straight forward. There is a column if you wanted to like not move straight forward and try to hide behind it or something like that. You can certainly move closer to Ergon, farther away from him. You know, that's about the range of your.
So, yeah, I'm gonna try to do a ranged attack on Ergon.
All right. Which
Yeah.
ones? Sacred Flame.
Yeah, let's hit him with some Sacred Flame because I noticed
Flame.
that magic seems to have an effect on him. So,
Yes.
yeah,
In particular, your radiant magic.
so I want to try to bring
him
some
with that holy
flames down
shit.
on him. So let me go ahead and hit him with it.
Sorry. So you see, Tina in full control of her faculties, running forth as her hand begins to illuminate with that red and yellow energy you've seen so many times before. Is it a dexterity saving throw? I'm sorry. There we go. And he does pass. So he only ends up taking 1 damage, but he does take the entire 1 radiant damage. You see the holy light blast off some of his smoky essence as he cackles out in pain at the might of your holy energy. Searing flame shoots off with a little bit of smoke. He is still there, but he's pretty badly worked.
Oh, so he didn't regain all of his hit points when he had the orbs hit him?
Yeah, it wasn't a full this is my final form moment or
Okay.
anything like that.
Yeah, I thought like he healed all the way back up and we had to okay, that's good.
Started up, yeah.
Can I heal anybody with the rest of my actions?
So you still have a bonus action, so you could Healing Word. So Healing Word is the one
Okay,
that
yeah.
range, and it heals a D4, I believe, +1 to an ally within 30 feet of you. So yes, you could pick any of your allies. They're all within range. And you can heal them.
Yeah, let's see. I'm pretty close to Rial. I'm within range of Rial, so I'm gonna toss some love to Rial up there because He's hurting.
So you
little bit.
shoot your holy healing beam from your fingertips. This magical kind of sparkling yellow energy washes over Rial. You feel the warm healing light kind of bathe over the back of your shoulder. It kind of pierces through just above the black portal and skips out of the way. Nice. You actually end up getting a 6 points of healing.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Drink
you feel
that shit
Tina
up.
Smooth's hands resolve pour into you and fill you with more energy and zeal.
Drink up.
Love you, Tina.
All right, so Ergon, it is his turn again. He cannot recharge his possession. Oh, that would have been fun.
Yes!
Man. Anyway, so he says he can't do that, and he certainly has a hatred for the turning of Rial against him in this final moment. When the last pieces of his initial plan would come into place, Rial stood against him, and he seeks to repay his pain and agony and inflict his body with pain like he has so many times before. And then he pulls up his character sheet and he looks for the name of the thing he's going to use. And then he finds it and he clicks it like this. And then the computer program rolls the dice. He hits an 18 armor class. I think that's good enough. And you suffer 10 points of necrotic damage. He says, "Boy!" And he reaches into you and you feel the old wounds fester in your memory as your body twists in pain like it did for 7 years. Feel him draining you.
Does he have any disadvantage because he's attacking him instead of me and I marked him?
He does, but he hits a 14 AC.
Just
which
kidding.
I believe hits
Learning.
still, correct?
Oh, fuck yeah, you're right.
So
Still,
yes,
Pride.
although
Pride.
the vastly, battle, the Cavalier with her challenge to Ergon to fight her, he's still with his hatred of you turning on him in this moment and his absolute pleasure in inflicting you pain. He decides to take the risk, and he reaches forward with you with that withering ghost hand with the green-white energy that ripples off his fingers. He stabs into you, and your mind hurts as well. It racks you with 10 points of necrotic damage, even despite the disadvantage. The Dretch that is standing next to Rial and Brennor and Divot begins opening its big toothy maw as this green fog begins to roll out of his mouth, and in an instant this big sphere of green gas emits from him, and he casts his fetid cloud. If you're within 10 feet of him, make a DC 11 Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Tina, we're good.
Yeah, we chilling.
I hope they will be.
Yeah, I hope so too.
For being diagonal 5 feet works against you, Gus. I'm sorry, but you managed to pass. Rial with the crit.
Boom!
All right.
Neat.
Neato.
All right, so I'm sorry. Okay, so those who did not pass, which I believe is only Brennor,
Of course.
you breathe in this big green noxious gas into your now weaker lungs, withered with age, and you are poisoned, which means that you can either take an action or a bonus action, but not both. And you get no reactions anymore, so no attacks of opportunity.
Excellent.
So you, now that you're withered, older, 20-year-old body, you can cough as you look down and gaze upon your green tinting skin, and just in shock at the loss of some of your physical faculty. As for the other two of you that passed, you managed to, waft away the cloud, and it just to go away from you. And that is the end of their turn. Brennor, what do you do?
So I cough a couple times, and then cough. I'm like, ouch. And then I look up at the demon guy in front of me, and I put my sword away. It's hurty. It's like, ouch. And then I put my shield away, and I grab my two-handed and I just go for him.
Nice. You know, with a quickness, you slide the shield and as it rolls around your shoulder, you pivot and switch to the two-handed method that you use your sword, for most damage, and you try to land true. Are you attacking the Dretch or Ergon?
The Dretch.
The Dretch.
He is fresh. He actually hasn't been hit yet.
I'm like, hold on a second. Ugh.
Ooh, 10 AC doesn't cut it. Whoa, you run up and you see him. Ugh, he looks up at you, and with his long, loft, fingers, he reaches up. You manage to cut one of them off, but it doesn't even seem to faze him. You see it just kind of drip to the ground and splatter on the stone. But he does not take any damage.
The dice do not like me this evening.
Because you are poisoned, you do not have a bonus action, so your turn is over. Divot, what do you do? Thoricus, you're on deck.
All right, so, is the black portal still in the room?
Yes, the black portal is still spinning underneath the floating blue head of Martha.
Okay. All right, well, Lord forgive me, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to burn one of my bardic inspirations to do Mantle of Inspiration. Okay. And I'm gonna turn into all of the missing parts of Martha. Right? So just like everything that's missing of Martha. And then I'm gonna run towards like a couple of maybe 10 feet into the fray. And I'm going to throw the benefits at. How many people do I get to pick?
I believe it's 3. It's your charisma modifier.
Okay, so I'm gonna give it to Brunor. I'm gonna give it to Tina, and I'm gonna give it to Rial.
All of whom can now move 30. Their move action. So who wants to move and where?
Oh, well, I'm gonna.
And you get 5 temporary hit points.
Booyaka.
Oh, thank God.
They don't add, if you have temporary hit points already, they would just replace any that you have lost from that pool. So that's if you get multiple sources of temporary hit points, you just get the highest one. So if it's 5, then you still have 5.
Cool.
But they do get to move. Each of you gets to move. So Brenor, would you like to reposition? There's no attack of opportunity on you for it.
Oh, great. Yeah. I want to move. Oh, goodness. I just kind of want to move maybe to the... I want to move to the other side of Ergon.
All right, so because you know that you're able to do this move with the zeal of inspiration, you draw no attacks of opportunity from this mantle of inspiration that Divot has imbibed, and you do manage to get to the other side of the gaseous form of Ergon.
Cool.
Tina, you get to move as well. Where would you like to go?
It's 30 feet, you said?
I think your move is 25 because you're a halfling.
Okay. I can get up to Ergon, though.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you can get right there, right underneath him.
Yeah, I'd like to continue to be on the offense on Ergon.
Okay, and don't forget you also have your spiritual weapon, your little cat is still there. So you can use your bonus action to have hit attack him again as well.
Can I do that right now?
You can absolutely do that right now. You did not get poisoned. So if you had been poisoned, you wouldn't be able to do both, but since you passed, you can.
Nice.
Oh, Kitty's coming out to play.
Meow, meow, meow.
Get
Meow,
this.
meow,
Meow,
meow.
meow, meow.
Oh,
Do that.
Meow, meow. And this week on Cat Sounds with WeeDnD.
Meow, meow.
That's a duck. Dang it. I'm sorry.
Oh. Excuse me.
That's good enough. That hits 6 points of force damage.
I'm here to protect my friend.
Yeah. So what is your little? What do you have your cat do? Which Pokemon attack?
Oh.
I'm probably not allowed to say that.
We're gonna get sued.
Come get
I
me.
ain't gonna tell nobody.
Come get me.
Slinks up in between the ghostly legs, crawls up to the shoulder, and then chokes with the 2 tails.
Coming back again with the scissor tails.
Yeah.
With great alacrity, it jumps up, wrapping around the neck again. Again, seeming to do inflict full damage upon him. He is still there, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. And you, Tina, still have your action.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a bonus action. So he's like a little weapon you can summon.
This is a crazy ability. That's why I was like, sorry, y'all. It's gonna take a minute.
This is amazing. Yeah. Well then
I wouldn't know.
I'm gonna
still haven't gotten
continue to rain my fire down on him and
You're
hit
so
him with
tough.
sacred flame.
Morning, you're so tough.
Hit him with that sacred flame.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and.
He's not getting out of here, and I've seen that magic can hit him, and I want to hit him.
All right, so he does pass, but he takes half, but he takes the full of that half, if that makes sense.
Yes.
He takes 2 damage, 2 radiant damage, and it takes the full force of that. But he did manage to save. You see, your magical, like holy energy is pretty evenly countered by his maliciousness and vile nature, and so they kind of bounce off each other as the 2 energy forces, collide. And
It's
so
not my match.
you did still manage to hit him, and your little cat did a pretty savage
And your
amount
little
of
dog,
damage.
too.
And your little dog.
Oh.
Right, so Brenor, I believe you're up.
Oh, for real?
Oh wait, no.
I don't think so.
No,
That was only my
Gus.
bonus
It's-
action.
that's right. That's all Gus. Go
Yeah.
ahead,
Yeah.
Gus.
Yeah. So then for my movie move, my action, I'm gonna cast Tasha's Hideous Laughter on Ghost Boy.
Yes.
All right.
I'm
Oh my
gonna try
goodness.
to at least.
Oh, please hit.
Wow.
Good
yeah.
luck. Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Oh my
so
goodness.
amazing.
Oh my
This would be
goodness.
hilarious if this hits.
So amazing.
Please.
Let me read this because the wording is specific here. Okay, so it just says, yes, although he is immune to many effects, it's very specific that they just make a saving throw. So he will get to make an intelligence saving throw right now, which he gets an 18. So that's enough to pass.
Oh.
Damn it.
It's okay.
All right, so you see, you try to imbue him with this magical laughter, and he's just so twisted and sinister that even your magical joke cannot make him laugh.
Ain't no laughter in him.
It's a dead audience, the worst.
Dead
Hate
inside.
him.
Oh, dead guy room.
All right,
It's a tough
Thoricus,
crowd.
you're up.
Tough crowd. All right. Let's see. I don't. Can I make it there? Yeah, I can make it here.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'll go for it. I mean, we got almost the full circle of what do we call that?
Circle of Doom, I think. I
Circle
don't
of
know.
Doom, that's what it was.
They're locking
We're
in.
still forgetting this.
Locking
this
it in.
It's your guys' move. All right. So you set up for the I think it's the you call it out, but you don't remember. It's like Clato, Verata, necktie. All right, go for it. So you pull up on him with Lucille. 13 armor class. I believe that's a hit. They have an 11. Yes, 15 damage.
Yeah.
A massive amount of damage, but he is still alive. How do you strike him, Thoricus? What happens with Lucille?
Yeah, so I'm running up. He's still focused on Rial, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'd like to, as he's focused on Rial, as I'm running up, take Lucille around and, sweep him, knock his legs out from under him, and so he's just flat down, and then, bring it right down in his belly.
Nice. So
Yeah.
exactly as described, you run up, he sees you coming and starts to adjust. You knock him out. He's been a little awkward on his feet so far, so taking his feet out from under him, he falls down. As he starts to roll over, you bring Lucille down, right in between his ribs yet again, this time crushing deeper, feeling like you may have hit some more of the spine as well. He's still alive, but he's bleeding heavily, and as your axe is still kind of wedged in his skin.
Nice.
Get him.
Yeah, so I mean, aside from that, I already used my action surge. I'm pretty boring right now.
You spent. All right, Rial, you're going to be up.
All right.
You see him, Rial, standing before you, the twisted visage of your tormentor. This moment felt like it would never happen. And yet here he stands in front of you, you surrounded by friends and allies, companions to help you fight against this dark tide in your mind. You're imbued with a sense of purpose. For your next action, I'm going to grant you inspiration. You have advantage on whatever you decide to do in this moment.
Whoa!
Fantastic. Well, in this moment of inspiration, I can't even focus on this Dretch, no matter how many little pot shots he's taken. It's all Ergon right now. So I've got the bow in hand. Just go ahead and whip it on the back. Take out my rapier, which still has my innards, my own innards on the blade. I have no time
a little bit. There's a little bit of real in there.
Make him taste it.
Never supposed to see your inside. It's not right. So the blade that he tried to best me with, I'm going to go ahead and turn on Ergon.
You see, he reaches out and tries to, with his own mind, stop the blade as you raise it. Go ahead and give me the attack. See, doesn't. Ooh. Again. Oh wait, no, you have inspiration. That's right. So you see, he hits your one.
Oh, 16. Yes.
He blocks it for a moment, and then with your force of resolve, Rial, the Shadow Piercer, catching that light from Tina Smoothhand's caught at the edge of your rapier. You reach out. What do?
Oh my goodness.
What do I do? Oh my gosh. Well, it's a bit of revenge and a bit of just knowing what's been going on. I'm just gonna stick him right where he stuck me.
Nice. So you see, right where his black and dark heart is, you aim the shiny blade of your rapier. As you start shooting it, this illusion, your magic so keenly attuned to the moment, starts rippling, and for a moment your blade resembles a great ancient sword that's made of stained glass with purple and blue hues of light. Your rapier guiding the way through the heart of it, but this illusion of this massive sword appears as you connect this moment, perhaps the beginning of the next chapter of the history of Rial Othravan. You drive forward, piercing through whatever heart remained of Ergon. You feel pierce out the backside of him as his magical essence fades away.
Damn.
In the back of your mind, Rial,
Did it.
you still hear his laugh. You look at your allies. They don't seem to have heard it.
You did it.
All right, Tina, what do?
Oh man, that was crazy. But now we have to deal with this demon. This is still here. So I turn to that and I'm gonna blast it with my holy might. Gonna blast some good old sacred flame.
He's in bad
You
shape.
could fart on that guy and he'd die.
You see Lucille is still buried in the thick of this demon's chest, And even as a trickery cleric, the idea of a demon, this creature of absolute chaos that just destroys to add to the death and the chaos in the world for no purpose or need. You look down at this thing as an abomination, and you reach your hand up and channel in the energy of Tharizdun, and you feel the brief whisper of the god in the back of your mind. That gauntlet, the gauntleted fist of Tharizdun appears in your hand, and you drive it down, splitting him in half.
Fuck yeah.
Thoricus, your axe suddenly, drops down to the ground. There's nothing holding it together anymore. She has halved the remaining dretch.
Gotta take care of the scraps.
Well done. Yes.
So you look around at the chaos, the aftermath of the battle. The portal settles. It's eerily calm. The blue illusion image of the face of Martha Doubtshire turns and looks at you. Oh. You see her kind emerald green eyes and thick smile lines in her face from a lifetime of playing host to weary travelers. She looks at you and smiles. Oh, do not fret, dear. You did all you could. That's all that can be asked. Remember, always stand with the hopeless and keep an inn and a hearth in your heart. Bless you, David. Bless you all. She begins slowly fading away.
Can't even do anything?
I just kill people.
You're the worst.
I know.
Can I do anything? Oh my god. It just.
We love you, Martha!
We love you.
We love
Thank
you.
you. We love you. Thank you.
You see the last of her ethereal
Can you
fading
hear
out.
us? Oh, all right, bye.
And
We
in the
love you.
last moment, she smiles. And you see the thick wrinkle lines on her face. And you're all filled with a warmth and acceptance that, though you couldn't save Martha Doubtshire, she was pleased to be a part of your journey.
Man.
Not cool, bro.
No.
Well, does anybody want to say a few words?
We should have healed her.
I feel really bad. As
right.
the cleric, I feel really bad that I didn't heal her.
She's gone, so, you know, we could sit here and what if all day.
I feel really awkward about the fact that I'm still
As her
very Martha.
At least we have most of her.
Yeah. I feel like we should say a few words and then move on.
Yeah.
So you see the candles at the candelabras in the back of the room are still lit. There's finally, now that this darkness is mostly gone, there still sits a frozen black portal in the middle of the room, unmoving. But now, with the lights and the flickering candles in this moment of reverence, it feels a bit more like a holy place.
I mean, she was so kind to us. She meant so much to each of us.
Well, especially Divot.
You don't think she's in there, do you?
The portal.
Divot, you are not gonna go in there.
Do you want to check it out?
Well, guys.
You guys hear the crumble. Suddenly, the pillars that were shifted by the spell of Divot, you see shift a little bit, and a couple more rocks begin tumbling down.
Yeah.
We certainly
That
can't
makes
stay here.
sense.
Yeah.
So, a few words. Martha, thank you so much. You've been great. Love, love, love. Ceiling's falling down. We gotta go.
You see Thoricus Onyxheart, battle-hardened and straight to the point, says his few words and begins walking out past the stone monolith at the base and toward the Mirkwood outside.
I feel like Martha is almost leading us to this, wherever this portal leads. I think we should go through this portal.
It's not active, though, right?
I don't know. Let's check it out.
Anybody who is trained in Arcana could make an Arcana check and see if you can determine if the magic within this portal is active.
I'll do that.
I figured you would.
Yeah.
And
Sounds like
I
something
believe
that you
Rial
do.
as well are now able to being arcane casters. Not very good with the 7. David, you're looking at it.
Check.
You know, you can see by yes, an Arcana check. You see, you're looking at it, and it certainly was bubbling and active and moving a lot before, and doesn't seem to now.
Heyo.
Rial, you look at it and almost push Divot to the side a little bit. And you take your rapier, and as the tip goes down, it's almost like pushing into a balloon. It seems to be frozen, and the magic no longer active. You hear a couple other rocks shifting in the ceiling, the moment in front of you, your last chance to say anything to Martha Doubtshire.
I don't think this portal is going to get us anywhere except to our deaths once this temple crumbles around us. But as for Martha, her kindness will never soon be forgotten, not by any of us. And as we continue, let's just bestow that kindness that she would on everyone we see that deserves it.
Hey, you know what Martha always said at the end of the night? Get the fuck out.
Indeed. And let's get the fuck out.
I want to loot Ergon's body. Is his body there?
No, his body is gone.
Damn it! All right, then never mind.
He pooed.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's
Let us
go.
You feel the shaking of the building once more as the Furious Five begin to run in unison, and as you guys have so many times in the past to this point, you run through over the stone, the tiled stone skull with the compass on it at the base near the door, and through the arched pillars of the Temple of Erasdul. As you do, you hear a final shift as one of the pillars blows out in the middle, and the Temple of Erasdul begins to collapse behind you. As the building falls, you hear the cackles of the dark creatures and Ergon laughing in the darkness, and beside them you hear the voice of Martha Doubtshire. Go forth, Furious Five. Do what you can. Stand with the light. And the temple crumbles before you. And that's where we're going to pick it up next time. All right, guys.
Come on.
Thank you so much.
It's ferocious, I think, by the way. I don't know. Do we decide is it fantastic or
Ferocious?
ferocious? It's Ferocious Five, right?
Ferocious Five, yeah.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
I'm
Whatever.
not that furious.
Whatever's not copyrighted.
Right.
Don't sue us.
As long as we don't get in trouble here.
I'm afraid of Mila Jovovich now. She's going to come after me.
Oh, shit, you're right.
Best case scenario, Mila
You never
Jovovich comes
call
after you.
someone out like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get you.
Mhm.
That's something that I feel like she's someone that would watch this show and sue all of us. And
She might watch the show, which, I mean, that'd be badass. And if that is the case, then I sincerely apologize for pointing out the obvious.
let's all just apologize to Mila Jovovich right now.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mila Jovovich.
I am
It's
very
we,
sorry.
Mila Jovovich, that we are very sorry. I am back. Again, we are juggling some highfalutin issues with the internet and the stuff. Thanks for hanging in with us. We hope the story was fun. That was one of my favorite nights of D&D I've had in quite a while, and I really want to thank you guys for joining us for the ride. Thanks to the cast. You guys are amazing and beautiful, and I love you. Thanks to our audience. If you like what you see, share it with your friends, and let's build a little community, a little party vibe in this crazy time. So thank you so much. Remember, catch our videos on YouTube later in the week. Fridays is when they'll go up to YouTube. You can always watch us live at Twitch. Get down on the chat. It is a party. Thanks, chat. You guys are amazing. You make me laugh. And you literally are my favorite of this thing, is this weird other
You're hilarious.
that goes
And I'm
on. So I love you guys. As always, we like to close our ceremonies here with the same way that we start them. And we go, lighters up. Have a great night, guys. We love you.
Love you.
Love ya.
Oh, yeah. Ha! So what? You can't touch me, 'cause I'm from the internet.